Of course, it was founded February 28, 1889, with the passage of House Bill number 186 by the Legislative Assembly of the Territory, still a territory, of New Mexico. In 1989, the university celebrated its centennial. In the 1989-90 academic year was UNM President Gerald W. May's last year in office.
That's right. The Mesa Vista logo in turquoise was created for that celebration, and many events commemorated UNM's first century. In 2014, UNM looks back at 125 years of history and accomplishments, while also looking forward and planning for what lies ahead. After 125 years, take a look at this new documentary about the history of the University of New Mexico.
Our students no longer come from just around Albuquerque. This is a global world right now. Our students come from more than 100 countries.
The university has been so important to Albuquerque and New Mexico and the United States in so many different ways.
The University of New Mexico, by any measure, has made great contributions throughout its 125 years.
I think it's a miracle there was people back in the late 1800s that took the chance of creating the University of New Mexico in 1889, and no one thought that it would succeed. How could you?
It was a harsh environment. I mean, the windows were pitted from sand. It was so bad that they would have to replace the locks on Hodge and Hall because the sand would just blast these locks.
The nickel, there's a horse and buggy that transported students from downtown up to the main campus.
I think through sheer force of will, there were a lot of those early presidents of the university and professors that simply made it happen because they had to.
People came here and said, oh my God, this is the most beautiful, fascinating, interesting place on the planet. I better stay.
In 1901, when President Tite arrived, he got out and put his overalls on and made adobe bricks and practiced with the Pueblo style of architecture.
William Tite seized on architectural style as a way to create a brand, an image and identity for the institution.
It was very controversial at the time, but the message was very clear. This is not Harvard, this is not Oxford, this is the University of New Mexico.
Very cool. It makes you proud to be a Lobo to see something like that. All right, joining us now is Arcy Chapa and Sue McEachin. Ladies, let's talk about this documentary. Obviously, it's celebrating the 125 years of the university. Brittany and I both UNM alum. What is the documentary about, other than just the history?
Well, it is about the history. It starts way before New Mexico became part of the territory, became a state.
Which I think is fascinating to me. You know, and I drive by, when you drive into the university, you see that sign 1889. You never think about that. Of course, we became a state in 1912. You never think about this university is older than the state. You know?
That's right. So it started off on the Mesa, and you saw in the little trailer there. So that was just the trailer. The film is actually an hour long. It has a lot of wonderful archival pictures. We were able to find in the archives interviews from 1988 that were done for the centennial of UNM. Never saw the day of light. They are included in this interview, in this film. And we also found some old audio from some of our earlier presidents we were able to include in the film, which is, I'm really excited about it.
Now, Sue, have you seen the documentary?
I've only seen the trailer. So
tonight
is the premiere.
Tonight is the premiere.
It is
Okay,
tonight.
so where can people go see the premiere?
At the National Hispanic Cultural Center, and there will be a reception at 5:30, and the film will be shown shortly after 6 p.m.
Gotcha. Okay. So what do you think now? Obviously, you haven't seen the film. You have seen the final cut of the film. What do you think people, especially alum people that have they bleed cherry and silver? What are they going to be most surprised at when they see this documentary?
Well, I think they're going to be surprised by how rich UNM's history is. We talk about early on with President Tite and how we changed the architecture from Romanesque red brick to the Pueblo style and how we are unique in the country. We go through the Roaring 20s, we go through the 60s, which there were a lot of protests, so that is covered, and just basically how much it has taken our leaders through the century to make the university what a great university it is.
Yeah, absolutely. So what other events can people expect through this week?
We have tons of events, everything academically oriented, from lectures to tours, behind-the-scene tours at Zimmerman Library and Maxwell Museum, where you actually get to see archival pots and things that people don't see the light of day. You get an opportunity to go and see that behind the scenes. We have a lot of fun events. We have celebrations for our faculty and staff alumni tomorrow, a great luncheon. On Thursday, we're having an open house at the Alumni Center at Hodgin Hall, which you just saw in the documentary. And we're going to have a great open house. Everyone's invited. It starts at 5:30 p.m. and we have a super auction that's going to go along with that. And it is a fundraiser for scholarships that will be dispersed to each school in the university. So we're really excited about that. And then, of course, tailgate. Got to have a tailgate.
And I do want to add that this film, if you don't get a chance to go to the premiere, will be shown on K&ME on November 24th.
Okay.
So they'll have the opportunity to see it. It'll be on at 9 o'clock. And it really is a visually stunning and moving film. And I hope people will get a chance
is there
to see it.
just an opportunity, just bringing to mind, because sometimes schedules get busy, this and that. Is there any plan to maybe get distribution for this film in terms of a DVD that maybe you can buy it and have for your collection or something? Are there plans in the works
Oh,
for that?
absolutely. After the premiere, we're probably going to make several hundred copies for the Alumni Association and for the departments on campus so that they can distribute it.
Excellent.
And I believe somebody's going to put it online too.
Good.
Wonderful.
Yeah, very excited to see this, a rich history of UNM.
Yes.
Well, again, folks, it's happening tonight at the National Hispanic Cultural Center. To get tickets and more information on this and the 125-year celebration of UNM, head over to casa.com and click on the Style tab. Ladies, thanks for joining us this morning.
Thank you.